Thank you for participating in this event. Could you please summarize for us in 30 seconds, briefly, the key message that you wanted to get across in your presentation?
ENISA is the European Network and Information Security Agency, is helping the Commission, the Member States and the business in the EU to prevent, to address and to respond to security incidents in the EU. Securing the internet infrastructure, the routing of infrastructure and the DNS infrastructure is very important in maintaining the trust that users and businesses put into the internet. ENISA is conducting studies, is creating good practices guides, creates awareness material and engages with the stakeholders in the EU community in order to promote the security in the internet and into the networks generally. This good practices guide that we presented provides information security managers and policy makers the key points that have to be addressed in order to deploy DNSSEC as a technology that can be used to enhance the resilience of the networks in Europe.
Thank you. And what do you think of the new Global Cybersecurity Center? Do you have any comments about the program or initiatives you think they should pursue?
The Global Cybersecurity Center can play a complementary role in promoting these technologies, these security enhancing features into Italy and into the greater area.
Good. Thank you very much. Olafur, thank you for participating in this event. Can you summarize for us in 30 seconds the brief message that you were trying to convey in your address to the audience?
DNSSEC is a technology that many people think of as a burden on them. And it is a burden in the beginning to implement and deploy new technologies. But this technology has an amazing potential for changing the way we do a number of things on the internet and could have significant cost savings in the way we do authentication and can improve the ways we can authorize how people get access to services either from the commercial sector, the government sectors and others.
Thank you. And so what initiatives do you think should be pursued to help further the deployment of DNSSEC?
We have been working hard on getting the various important zones signed. We have to continue that effort, but more importantly, we have to start getting people to realize that validation is the next big thing that has to happen. And once validation has started to happen, we will see new applications possible to come online that allow us to do the new ways of and deal with the internet in a totally new way.
A more secure way.
More secure way and more democratic ways and enable people to do things that are not possible today.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anne-Marie, thank you for participating in this program. Can you summarize for us in about 30 seconds the key message you were trying to convey in your presentation?
Thank you. It's my honor to be here. The key issues in my presentation is the importance on having documents like the policies and the practice statement to make sure for others that you are doing things in a way that they can feel confident about that you're doing it trustfully.
And what initiatives do you think should be pursued to help advance deployment? You're one of the leading global expert.
Yeah, I think we need more of the tools, the control panels from name service operators and the registrars to help the customers to actually administer and take care of the DNSSEC and DNS administration in a proper way.
What do you think about the new Global Cybersecurity Center here in Rome? Do you have any comments or suggestions for areas they should pursue?
Since I am a security person and I've been for 2 decades and more than that, I really do like this kind of initiatives because they put information security on the agenda for a lot of people, and it really pinpoints the importance of having this kind of meetings where we share experiences, we share knowledge, and we try to help each other, because security is not anything you should compete on, but you should share and try to help each other.
And it links country to country initiatives. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve, thanks so much for helping organize this event and being a key player. Can you summarize for us in 30 seconds or so the key message you want this audience to take away from your participation?
Well, thank you, Jody, and we couldn't have done it without you as well. So this was a particularly important and interesting meeting because it brought together experts who have been involved and who have been there and done it with respect to implementing DNSSEC, and brought an audience that is on the cusp, that is sort of in the front row of the next wave of people to do it, and made it very real and very accessible, so that a lot of the mystery is dissipated, and it made connections so that it'll make it easy for them to say, yes, we can do it, and we know where to get the help that we need, we know where the resources are, and we have some idea about how complicated or how easy it will be to do it.
Yeah, I think it did link the experts with those who are learning. And so with that, what initiatives do you think should be pursued to help advance DNSSEC?
Well, the key initiatives to move forward are to get the rest of the top-level domains signed. And so we have a very good situation in Europe where we already have considerable progress, and that will serve as a base to move out into the neighboring areas as well. We also have a good initiative with respect to the ISPs implementing DNSSEC on the resolver side, on the checking side. And again, I think that's a second major piece of the initiative. And then involving the government, involving the universities, and involving the banking community are three very important specific communities in each country that I think we need to engage. Underneath all of this is some additional tool development to smooth things out. There's been quite a lot of progress on tools. There's also been very important progress on the documentation, on the practice statements and policy statements to make it easy to move DNSSEC into an organization. And so that will continue to go through a maturation process, but we're already in quite good shape on that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Paul, thank you so much for participating in this important event. It's so important with .post looking into DNSSEC and its deployment. What's, in a very brief statement, what is the key message that you want to impart to postal providers in the deployment of DNSSEC?
Well, for us, the .post is a secure and trusted space for the provision of postal services. This is an important extension of the postal network out onto the internet. Many of our operators are investing in these new electronic services, but for us to have a global industry domain, .post needs to have security within the underlying infrastructure. And that's why it's so important from our perspective that DNSSEC is continuing to develop and is going to have a wide range and wide reach in the future.
Because trust is what the public really wants with this postal system, and DNSSEC means trust.
Exactly, yeah. DNSSEC means trust, and that's exactly what the postal operators built their brand over, and that's exactly what they're expecting out of electronic services in the future under .post.
And what do you think of the Global Cybersecurity Center here in Rome? Do you have any suggestions for Andrea and its agenda as it moves forward?
So the UPU fully supports the Global Cybersecurity Centre here in Rome. We're happy to be associated with Poste Italiane. We have a cooperation agreement with Poste Italiane on the Global Cybersecurity Centre, and we're looking forward to it providing a lot of support to us, a lot of education, hopefully a lot of guidance in tools, etc., about how the UPU and the member postal operators and the member countries can deploy DNSSEC, and then also how they can use DNSSEC to actually help develop even more secure innovation services on the internet and within the postal sector in the future.
That's right. You're not just an organization. You're an organization that touches 191 countries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Good.
191 member countries and 191 postal operators. We also touch with the regulators as well. So, from a policy perspective, from a technology perspective, we have a big challenge in front of us with implementing .post and ensuring that DNSSEC is a vital component of .post.
Thank you very much. Russ, thanks so much for participating in this event and helping us organize it. Can you summarize in about 30 seconds or so the key points that you wanted to get across for the audience with respect to DNSSEC?
Certainly, glad to. There are really two main key points that I was involved in. One was the fact that you can easily get software on the internet that you can use to hijack DNS content and change it and cause bad things to happen to applications. And we actually demonstrated that here. The other thing is in terms of implementation and availability of tools, there are many, many tools that are available, and a large number of them are open source, so the cost associated with each tool is zero as far as purchasing the tool itself. So that's a very, very important thing for people to keep in mind as they think about how they're going to go forward doing DNSSEC.
And thank you. And what initiatives do you think should be given priority in trying to further the deployment of DNSSEC?
Well, I think outreach to key communities that are likely to be able to see a business need for deploying DNSSEC, and there are some examples that came up during the conference that hadn't really been talked about much before, and I think the GCSEC folks will probably follow up on those, so I think that will be a very good thing.
Great. And what do you think about the new Global Cybersecurity Center here in Rome?
Well, I think it's a very good initiative. I'm thrilled that it's over here because it gives a focal point that at this point in Europe, it's geographically in a key location, and it can contact and has many associations already established through people contact. So I think it's a wonderful asset to the overall community and to DNSSEC in the deployment space.
And helps link the different country efforts and communities involved.
Absolutely, yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.